G'day guys and welcome to Sydney Motorsport Park. The sun is shining. We're here at South Circuit Pit Complex building. I've got the lovely Courtney alongside me today to help me do the draw for the International Drifting Cup presented by Garrett Advancing Motion. My name's Dan Mackie, I'm the Drift Operations Manager. I'll also be one of the judges, but I think before we keep going we might as well get in and get some names up on the board.
Yeah, we've got quite a few to get through. Okay, the names are all in here. We're choosing at random, determining fate. The first one we have is Ben Jenkins from New Zealand.
Ben Jenkins from New Zealand, into Pool A, first driver up.
Okay. Second, we have Matt Harvey from Tasmania.
Matty Harvey.
Yes.
Into Pool B.
He'll be here in his S13 this year, but I remember watching Matty in his early days in that little crawler he had, do you remember?
Yeah, I know.
With all the trumpets.
Back in the day. He's been doing some great things down in Tassie.
Okay, Adam Monk is up next.
Adam Monk, all the way across from Western Australia. This is his fourth trip over. He loves this event. Absolutely going to blaze it in his twin turbocharged V8 Monster, first driver into Pool C.
Okay, after that we have the mad face himself, all the way from Japan.
Kitagawa. He's well known obviously for his RX-7 antics. He'll be over here having a wow of a time. It should be great. First driver into Pool D.
Okay, next up we have Matt Van Kirk, who is from the USA but has been doing a bit more driving in Australia.
Yeah, Matt's USA driver, has driven in Formula Drift, still competing under that banner, but he's been over in the high-tech series competing there. Doing quite well, running in the top 5.
Alright, next we have Nathan Greenhill.
Nathan Greenhill, out of South Australia, came up last year, does a lot of competition in the DCA series. He's got a pretty mean S15 now.
And hopefully it's well sorted, because I remember last year they put it together with only a few weeks to go.
About a 3-week build, I think it was in the end. And that all happened because Nathan managed to sneak in and make it into the top 3 for the DCA series, so got himself an invite out of doing that.
Okay,
Cool.
Next we have from across the Tasman, Jesse Greenslade.
Jesse Greenslade. This guy's got a mental S15. Just been built with a freshly built RB26, I'm pretty sure it was. 3-litre bottom end, all billet block. Loves to just blaze, that guy. He'll be awesome to watch. Pool G. Into Pool H.
Okay, we have Anthony Billick from Sydney, homegrown, well known.
Hectic.
Yeah, the hectic Anthony Billick. He is quite a character around the pits, and I think everyone enjoys having Anthony in his S13. Has he still got the SR20 in it?
Yeah, still. It'll be the actually there'll
What
be
number
2
will it be?
SR20s this year, but he will be one of only 2 SR20s in the draw.
Okay, from Ireland we have Finney O'Hare.
Finney O'Hare, another guy that competes and lives now in Australia, but wanted to compete under his Irish flag. So he's going to go into Pool A, and that's now 2 internationals in Pool A. So it's becoming a bit of an all-international flavour. Ben Jenkins, Finney O'Hare, another one with a pretty mental S15. So that'll be cool to see.
Okay, I'm so excited that this drifter is back here this year. Andy Gray, also from the Northern Hemisphere, I guess you could say, from Scotland.
From Scotland, Andy Gray, yeah. Lives and competes. He's got a business in Japan, obviously. As soon as we announced we were coming to South Circuit, he was straight on the phone to Ian Baker, obviously, who owns and runs the series, and said, "I'm coming, Baker."
Whether you like it or not. Okay, no, we definitely like it. From Australia, Andy Worth.
Andrew Worth. He's driving a bit of a built-together car this time. Got a 180 SX with a stonking V8 in it. Down from Queensland. Competed before. Used to drive a little A86, but I believe he's pulled that all apart. So.
Okay, now adding some international flavour, we have Ken Wenkwan from China.
Just recently announced the China drivers. We've got 2 drivers coming from China this year. Ken is currently sitting top of the China Drift Championship. The boys have shown some interest, and it'll be awesome to have them there. Taking on, it looks like Kitagawa in the RX-7. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Pool D, a little bit of international on the left-hand side. We're going to try and get them on the right-hand side too, Courtney, while you're pulling those ones out.
Okay, all right. We've got Glenn Omerod, who won the Drift Masters entry.
Yeah, little Glenno. He normally more familiar with a little underpowered rotary KE70 Corolla. Is going to step into Rob White, Motorsport prepared 350Z, I think it is. I don't think he gets the 370, but the 350.
He does.
It's going to be a big power change for him, and he'll have a bit of fun taking on Matt Van Kirk too. Both very, very how do you put it, delicate drivers. They like to just hit points. Good. Pull left, who did we get?
Okay, we've got Jerry Zhu now.
Jerry Zhu, our other
From
driver from China. Good to
as
see
well.
those boys split up, although they're very, very good friends. They like to hang out together. A lot of you guys will know that name, Jerry Zhu, because he does also compete over in the D1 NZ series. And he's been getting around, starting to build more cars to get to more of the countries around the world.
Okay, this is a big name. He needs almost no introduction. It is Bo Yates.
Yatesy. Well, yeah, what do you say about him?
He's won multiple times.
Yeah. Probably, I think he's possibly the most winning driver or most successful driver in World Time Attack history.
Yeah, I think he's the only one to have won the drifting challenge back more than once. And back to back, did he do 2015, 2016?
I can't remember, but he's done a lot. This
been
time,
doing it for a long
he's
time.
got to prepare 2 cars. There's obviously Kiichi Tsuchiya, who'll be judging with us, is driving his AE in open passing.
Okay, now this is a personal favourite of mine. I cannot wait to watch her. Miki Takagi.
Miki Takagi. Our first of our female drivers coming over. Obviously very fond of our last year's winner Naoki, partner of Naoki. So that'll be cool to see them.
And I think she just won the D1 Lights. I was stalking her on Instagram.
I know she's won the D1 Ladies. I haven't seen that. If you're telling me that, I'll believe you. I know you follow along very closely.
Okay, next we have John Dreyer? Is it John?
Yeah,
yeah,
John.
sorry.
Down from Victoria, in the little bluebird that the angry bird they call it, into Pool A. And good to see we've got some Australians in there now. We want to try and limit those ones now.
And I like to have some more of the classic, JDM cars in there because we get a lot of new and we like to see the old.
Yes, absolutely.
It's true.
Pool B.
Oh, here we go. Naoki Nakamura.
Last year's champion.
Yes.
Coming back to see if he can defend his crown. And a big target on his crown. He'll know Matt Harvey. He battled him, I think, in the pool rounds last year. And obviously he and Andy Gray will have seen each other in Japan. So that's turning out to be a pretty interesting pool so far.
Okay, Mr. Jake Jones is next, he's been teasing a lot of videos lately. It looks like he's about to release some incredible video of doing something on the streets.
He's got something big to drop. And he's dropping it on the Thursday when they'll all be here for practice. So it's right before the event. So keep an eye out on Jake's social media channels for that.
Yeah. And he'll be here in the M3 this time.
He will be here in the M3. Yeah. He's bringing the M3 out to play, and he's been driving really well actually. He's been out and doing a lot of comp driving, which is unusual for Jake.
Okay. Masashi Yokoi from Japan?
Yokoi, yes.
I'm not the best with the non-English names. My apologies, but that's the surnames I've got to practice getting them right.
So this is our D1 GP current champion or 2018 champion. We're getting quite an all-international pool over there in Pool D.
Okay, in the Hilux we have Mitch Pullen.
Freshly built engine, I believe. He's kind of doing a little bit like Nathan was doing last year. He's just come back from work overseas, and the car was apparently a shell. So he's building an engine and rebuilding the entire car to get that all up and running and being ready to take on the guys in Pool D.
Okay. Another local, Mr. Michael Bonney.
Michael Bonney in his mental NOS-powered S15s. Always a fierce competitor, Michael, and he'll definitely be one to watch in Pool F, that's for sure. Who have we got for Pool D?
Okay, we have Mr. Dale Campaign, who is really driving, I think the best he's ever driven right now. He was just in Texas, he's done so well.
Yeah, he's getting around, obviously reigning and current DCA champion. DCA haven't done a national championship to date. I believe they're doing a bunch of one-off championships. Interesting to see him in this pool with Bo Yates. They came up against each other at Drift Masters just recently in Adelaide, and Bo managed to take that one. So I know Dale will be out for a little bit of evening up the scales in that one.
Okay, from Northern Territory, another car that I love, Danny Probert in his XD Falcon.
Yeah, what a wicked
very
car,
straight
what a wicked team. So Danny's going to go in alongside Anthony Billick and Miki Takagi in Pool H.
Okay. Next we have someone who's also been very busy going across the ditch to New Zealand, Mr. Matty Hill.
Yeah, Matty Hill, we wonder whether he's got a New Zealand passport and comes back to Australia now, or he spends a lot of time there, but he is bringing the mental S15 that he's built from over there back for this event, so that's awesome to see that thing back on home soil. And
I think he was injured just before the round last year, and he wasn't quite up to his normal pace, so he's obviously got a bit to prove again this year as well.
Yeah, there was an incident. We don't talk about it apparently. Matt doesn't like to like to say too much about it, but he did have a sore foot and did have to get clearance actually on the Thursday or the Wednesday to do the Thursday practice last year. So cut it pretty fine. Pool B, who did we get?
Levi Clark.
Levi Clark. He's been out doing a lot of competition this year too. Just recently won the Queensland round of the High Tech Drift Australia series. So he's definitely going to get in there and shake it up. And he's already told me that he's rebuilding a whole bunch of stuff in the car because he's coming here to win. Who have we got next? Pool C.
Mr. Shane Van Gisbergen.
SVG. Trading in the straight line driving for a little bit of sideways action. Always a fan favourite. He'll be in the MCA car in his normal haunt. And will definitely shake up Pool C. Always aggressive.
Okay. Brad Toohey, next up.
Brad Toohey. Let's hope that this year he can get a head start on it. We've got a few changes in the regulations to make sure that he will stay in competition. Last year, unfortunately, having a fuel problem, I think it was, knocked him out early. In fact, he didn't even make the start line, so Warwick Hill was substituted in for him.
Yeah, that's
but Brad Toohey will be back and keen to definitely compete this year. Pool E.
Okay, we have A-Kid.
Angus Kidd.
Angus Kidd.
One of our newbies to the
Supra.
field. Yeah, he's got a 2JZ Supra with, I think he reckons he's going to have about 890 horses at the treads when he comes down.
Blake Patterson.
All right, Blake Patterson, another. Actually, I think he might have done once before, but coming back into competitions, built another S15. We've got plenty of those guys coming out with S15s. Always another fluid driver, loves to just hit his clips, make sure he follows through with criteria set out by judges and leave it up to the opposition to make it out.
Okay, Mitch
Cool.
Doyle's up next.
Mitch Doyle, our second of the crew from the Northern Territory this year. So
Yes.
Mitch Doyle, his first time, another deputy.
Okay, next after Mitch we have Brody Mayer.
Okay, so we've got Brody Maher now going into the Pool H, which is the SR20 pool, adding in with Anthony Billick. We'll have to get in touch with the other two drivers there, Probert and Takagi, and get their engines swapped out to make it a full SR20 field. Wouldn't that be awesome to watch?
Yeah, I think that's justification. Okay.
All right, back to the
Next.
top.
Yes.
The final driver to go into each pool. Who have we
Aaron
got?
Dewar.
Dabs, Aaron Dewar, probably responsible now for 50% of the Australian engines in this field. He's built a lot of them. Dewar's Motorsport, heavily involved in Australian drifting now, and even, I believe, starting to build turbo engines. So that's Pool A settled.
Okay.
Pool B.
Kelly Wong is next.
Kelly Wong.
Another female in the
We
field.
couldn't have Mickey Takagi come all the way over here without having an Australian
Another girl in a
representative.
pink car.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We needed another girl in a pink car.
But she's the only Safiro, which is like great. to
Yeah,
see.
that's also true.
Yeah. Okay, next we have Troy Jenkins.
Pool C, Troy Jenkins. A couple of NZ guys over there with Ben Gisbergen and Troy in the same pool.
Okay, after that we have Josh Butcher from sunny Queensland.
Josh Botcher again dusting off the big S15. This thing revs unbelievably. It's a shame we'll have to wait until maybe the top 16 or beyond to see Aaron Dewar and Josh Botcher get 20,000 afternoons out of the 18 like we saw in Queensland earlier.
Okay, that sounds great. Warwick Hill is next.
Warwick Hill,
Yes.
Wazza. Our wild card into last year managed to get in when poor old Brad Toohey couldn't get his car started. He's back again in a freshly rebuilt BMW.
Okay, we've only got 3 more to go.
3 more to go, that sounds fair. We've got 3 more spaces. Pool F, final man for Pool F.
Mitch Jeffrey.
Mitch Jeffrey, after a bit of time off, children and families and things, he's coming back to have a crack and start reignite, he says, his drifting career. So good to have Mitch back.
Glad to see you back out there, Mitchie. Okay, John Graham is next.
Jordan
Jordan's
Graham, that's all right, we'll let you off. That's
Can
not
we
too bad. 38 out of 39 you've got right so far. Jordan Graham, he's got an awesome, have you seen his car?
All you need is one enemy in life and can we take it out? Sorry Jordan, I'll make it up to you.
Indeed. Extra interview for you in the pits later. Jordan's got an awesome full carbon 180SX. Amazing.
Oh, I have a 180, Jordan. We'll be great friends in no time. Okay, last but not least, we have Ben Meir.
Benny Meir.
Yes.
Another guy that's had a bit of time off with some engine dramas last year. He's just freshly rebuilt his car. So that S14 is going to be absolutely cooking. So that, Courtney, looks like our pool draw completed now for...
More time attack. International Drifting Cup 2019.
That's it. Nothing left in the cup. All empty.
It's all empty.
All you got to do is come and win it now. So it's looking pretty good. Pool A, we've got Jenkins, O'Hare, Dreyer, Hill and Dewar. That's not going to be an easy one. Ben Jenkins in the form of his life. Same with Finney O'Hare. John Dreyer, not an easy beat by any stretch of the imagination. Matty Hill obviously been killing it over in New Zealand, and Dwyer in the top of the tree over in Australia. Pool B, Matt Harvey, Andy Gray, Naoki Nakamura, last year's champion. Levi Clark wants to knock him off, needs to knock him off if he wants to take the crown this year. And Kelly Wong, wow, hasn't she lucked into a really competitive field there. But Kelly will stick it to the boys, definitely. Pool C, Adam Monk, Andy Worth, Jake Jones, SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen, across from our V8 Supercar friends, and Troy Jenkins, brother of Ben, obviously from New Zealand. That, again, is going to be a really tough field. I don't know if I can pick winners out of these first three so far.
I know. Well, you can't play favourites either. You know, you want them all to.
You can't. Who do we get in
pool? So hard.
Pool D, we've got Kitagawa, Ken Wenchen, current China Drift Championship leader for 2019, Yokoi, Brad Tui and Botcher. So we've got some good names over there. That's a little bit of an international flavour on that one. Matt Van Kirk, little Gleno in the big car, Mitch Pullen in a monster V8 Ute, Angus Kidd and Warwick Hill. Again, Pool E's.
I think that's a fair pool, actually. I quite like that.
A lot of guys very similar, but you've got a couple of guys that are very aggressive in their driving style with Mitch and Angus there, and then you've got a couple of guys that are quite fluent and like to tick the boxes, so that'll be a good one. Pool F, we've got Greenhill, Jerry Zoo, Michael Bonney, Blake Patterson, Mitch Jeffrey. So a couple of guys coming back from a little bit of time off there. They're either going to be red hot right away, or maybe they'll be a bit rusty. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, still going to be a great team, great pool. Greenhill and Jerry and Michael are just right in form at the moment, so they'll be blazing sure. Pool G, Jesse Greenslade, Bo Yates, Dale Campaign, some big names in there. Mitch Doyle, who's qualifying second up at Queensland Raceway, and Jordan Graham coming out strong as well. That's a good pool, that one. And then the little Pool H, or we're going to rename this one to Pool SR20 because we've got Anthony Billick, Mickey Takagi, Danny Probert, Brody from down in Tasmania coming all the way up to visit us, and Ben Maher. Although I think the cylinders are outweighing them, so we've got a V8, we've got a couple of straight sixes and a couple of S8s. So not a bad field. But that's the pool draw now for 2019 for the International Drifting Cup, brought to you by Garrett Advancing Motion.
The Garrett International Drifting Cup is the most action-packed drifting event in the Southern Hemisphere. We've removed qualifying, heavily restricted competition timeouts, sharpened up the one more times, and added 40 cars into a World Cup-style pool format event that sees door-banging action all night long. Featuring the largest international drifting field ever assembled in Australia, you don't want to miss this one. Tickets available. See worldtimeattack.com for all the details.